No drama. You know we getting them comments, man. What's good, YouTube? This your boy Fit No Drama here. And today's the day we're here talking about the story behind Fit No Drama, man. I'm really gonna break down who I was before I became the fitness coach, the the face on Instagram. I'm just a man on Instagram. I'm not an Instagram dude. I'm a real person. You feel me? And I really want to get y'all an insight on who I am as an individual. Really break down like why I am the person who I am today. Um, because I really feel like the past is what really shapes the future. And it has led me to get here. And I hope this my story inspires you to you know keep moving, stay motivated, stay positive, and keep moving, bro. Like, because everybody has a past, but that past does not determine us. You feel me? So yeah, man, we're gonna get into this video, bro. I'm really excited to tell you this, bro. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and now we're here, man. Let's get it. So, how should I start this video? I guess I'm gonna start with, because I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know a lot about my kindergarten, pre-K years. Is kind of a blur to me. I do remember a lot of my middle school years, though, because I will say my middle school years is really what impacted me a lot. So I guess I'll really start with that. Um, but I will say this: um, when I was younger, when I was in middle school and when I was in pre-K and kindergarten, I was in. I used to live in the Bronx. So I used to live with my grandparents because during the time my mom she was in college. She was getting her degree at my own college. So she didn't have time to take care of me, and during the time my dad he was working 24/7. So to have that aided care and you know be constantly taken care of, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. During the time my grandfather was working and my grandmother was a stay-at-home mother. So uh, so I would stay with my grandparents and um, yeah. So while we used to live in the Bronx. Then as I got older, I'll say like middle school. That's when I still lived in the Bronx, um, but now I could officially move with my mother, and we still lived in um, the Bronx. I guess like what St. Lawrence, Parkchester area, right off the 6th line. I used to live right there on Rosedale Avenue. Um, so areas I reside is Parkchester, Castle Hill, Brookner Boulevard, like that whole the highway. If y'all know, y'all know. If y'all from New York City, y'all know about it. If y'all from the Bronx, y'all definitely know about it. So I used to live over there for a while. But during the time, my mom she was working in the hospital, and she was working in a New York hospital. So to make commutes easier, I used to go to school in Midtown Manhattan, um, in 68th Street. Um, Midtown Manhattan, 68th Street. I used to go to a school called the Ella Baker School. It was in a big complex called Julia and Richmond. So they had like 4 or 5 schools in one. You feel me? So they had my school, Ella Baker, and they had like 3 other high schools in there. I know one of them was like Talented Unlimited or something like that, where they had music, and things of that nature. So I was in there. So middle school, that's where I was residing. And middle school, I'm not gonna lie, it was hell. I will tell you that for me. It was hell. Middle school was hell for me, and I'll tell you this why. Because yeah, it was cool. This and third. I had a lot of problems, bro. I'm gonna lie, like I suffered a lot of low self-esteem. During that time, I was lactose intolerant, so I ain't gonna lie. I used to poop on myself. Yeah, it's not embarrassing, right? For me to tell you that I used to poop on myself, right? But look, we older. I don't do that no more. I'm free to say that right now. You feel me? So, long story short, I'm saying that because people used to make fun of me for that, and I used to be lactose intolerant, right? So that's why I used to poop on myself. I used to poop on myself because I was lactose intolerant. I was lactose intolerant, and y'all know the vibes, bro. New York City, they got the bacon, egg, and cheese, the chopped cheese, the sauce, egg, and cheese. I would say this: I don't eat pork bacon. Um, I grew up in a Muslim household. My dad is Muslim, so I didn't grow up eating pork at all. You feel me? So when I did go to the deli, I was only getting like a sausage and cheese or a regular egg and cheese. But I'm gonna tell you this: like I said, I was lactose intolerant, so I know I was not supposed to be eating it. I still ate it. I still ate it, bro, because it was good. I was addicted to the food. You know what I mean? You know, and when you're addicted, it's over. You know, I just let it happen, and you know, I used to always convince my mom to get it for me. I used to always convince her like, oh, I want I want an egg and cheese sandwich. I want an egg and cheese sandwich. Knowing damn well if I go to school and I can't control my bowel movements, it's over. Like I might end up pooping on myself. So, man, it used to be so embarrassing. Pooping in the class, and then you having to leave the class and you stinking up the whole room, and people like, oh, you stink. Oh, like you think people want to be around me, bro? So I had that label for a while. Um, people used to call me doodle butt. You feel me? Like it's bad. Like I forgot about that. I'm thinking about it now. Like as I'm talking to you into this camera. Like yo, I really used to do that, bro. That and just that was hell, bro. I'm telling you. I'll just say it was hell, bro. So I did that. People used to call me ugly. Obviously, y'all see my skin complexion. I'm black. You know, I'm black as hell. But it's okay. I love my skin. Just so FYI, when I say black as hell, I'm just joking, man. Like I know I'm beautiful. I love my beautiful black skin. I just be joking. I don't really take myself serious. I love joking with myself. You feel me? But I love myself, alright? So listen, when I was young, people used to call me Blackie, like Darky, Gorilla, like all these things, man. When I was younger, and that ate up with my confidence, on top of pooping on yourself. You think people want to be around me, and quite frankly, I didn't want to be around people either because they were so cruel. You know, as a young age, and kids when they're young, middle school, third grade, second grade, fourth grade, them types of kids is cool, bro. You feel me? And with kids, they do not. Y'all know how y'all was as kids, and y'all see kids for today. They don't hold anything back. So if they see something that they don't like, or they feel like they needs to be said, they're so quick to say it with no hesitation. But it hurt, bro. It really did. I'm not gonna lie. So for a while, obviously, at some point in time, I got, I had to get rid of, the the, the egg and cheese sandwiches, and eventually, I'm not gonna lie, I grew out of my lactose intolerance, so it kind of worked out for me. So I no longer was, pooping myself in class and things of that nature. But I still had to deal with people calling me ugly. People call me gorilla, and that shit sucked, bro. Real talk. And I'm not gonna lie, hearing those things at a younger age, it did um, carry over until I got to like high school and maybe a little bit in college, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You know, um, hearing that for a long period of time and not hearing other people besides your mom and your close family and your relatives calling you beautiful, like handsome, or oh you look good. Like I didn't hear that, and I don't think I'm gonna be honest. I don't think a lot of men hear that either, like that. Um, but for me in particular, being that I dealt with that for a while, like people calling me ugly, and then what makes matters worse too, you know, when you get a certain age and you're in middle school and stuff like that, you see your friends and your peers, they talking about getting girls and like, oh this girl like this guy, and oh this girl think this person is cute, and you're not hearing that about yourself, but everybody's calling you ugly. You start to think like, damn, am I really ugly? Like you start putting two together, like, and you know that's really what I used to deal with, bro. Like feeling that I was ugly, bro. Like, but it's all good. I'm here now. I don't think I'm ugly, and y'all can see from how I look now. I don't look ugly. I think I'm very handsome, to be quite honest. Um, but look, that's to show you like the difference in mentality that I used to have back then to opposed to now. Like I wouldn't even damn near say that. I'll question that. I'd be like, yo, am I ugly? Like I'll go ask somebody, like, oh, do you think I'm ugly? I ask a close friend of me. I'd be like, no, you're not ugly. You feel me? Um, so I dealt with that, and it's crazy though. When I was younger, I wasn't bad or nothing or anything, but I was dark. You know, I think back then the culture was kind of shifted where like I guess light skinned dudes was in back then. You know, the Chris Browns of the world. The I don't know. I don't even remember who else. I guess TIs of the world. You know, the LL Cool J's or something. You know, yeah, they were in. You feel me? Like, and it was like, oh yeah, we don't like dark skins. So that's how it was, bro. Like, I used to hear that a lot too. Like, oh, I don't like dark skins. You know what I mean? I only like light skinned dudes. You know. So when I was in middle school, didn't have no girlfriend, bro. I remember this one girl that I did like, bro. I was like, yo, I like you. This and third, like, would you date me? This and third. At the time, I had some little confidence. I'm thinking like, yo, you know. And you know what she told me? She said, I can't date you, right? Because what clothes you wear. You feel me? I'm gonna get into that too because back then, um, especially in New York, bro. If you live in New York, y'all know this. If you was not wearing the flyest clothes, you had the Nautica sweater, the Nautica hoodie, the 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 polo, any fashion brand, the Tommy Hilfiger, like all those name brand stuff. If you're not wearing that, you're not wearing Jordans and stuff like that. Now people was not talking to you or they was being rude. Like, oh, if you wearing Payless, oh, what are those? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you wearing? You know? And being that my family, you know, they're not from here. You know, they're not originally from here. My mom's from Panama. My dad's from Africa. So they're not prioritizing or even caring about name brand or understanding, you know, status symbols and all that. They're not worried about that. They're just worried about, you know, having clothes and having a roof over their head. Which me personally, I do feel like that should be the main priority, especially as you get older. Don't worry about no name brand, yeah, when you older. Like if it's hindering your ability to navigate through life or it's a financial burden, do not do it. Do not do it to please anybody else and things of that nature. But that's besides the point, right? Um, yeah, that was crazy. Like little a girl in middle school telling me she don't like me because of what I wear. But like I'm a good person, I'm a good dude. I told her I like her, she's pretty, this and that, you know. And she's sitting there telling me that, oh, she don't like me because of what I wear. I'm like, yo, this world is cruel, bro. looking back at it, I'm like, yo, this world is cruel, man. So that's another thing that ate in my confidence. So there was so many things when I was in middle school that really ate on my confidence, and I didn't have super low self-esteem. You feel me? People telling me that I'm ugly, calling me blackie, and people questioning how I dress. And I'm not gonna make matters work, I was a quiet individual, man. How I am right now, talking to you, talking to this camera right now, I wouldn't have the confidence and swagger to get on here and really just say my piece. You feel me? I was so worried about fitting in and worried about, oh, are they gonna like what I say? You feel me? Like, or like what I say is valid. These are things I had to deal with when I was younger, bro. And obviously, as I got older and older, they'll start to pass by and start to dwindle away. But I will say the biggest thing that really stuck with me was the ugly part. For a while, man. Like it went. Like I felt ugly for a long time. I felt like I was ugly for a long time. Like because of what other people say. I know I'm not ugly. Yeah. I'm just talking about how I used to feel. Um, I used to feel ugly because of how other people perceived me. I didn't have that many friends. I did have friends, but it didn't feel like they were inviting me to things. Little things like that. You pay attention when you're younger. You know, um, you start to realize like, oh, okay, he probably don't like me like that if he's not talking to me like that. Um, but I'll say things start to change, things start to shift. But I really think like for me, it was really the ugly thing, um, and I think it was because society puts an emphasis on getting girls. Even at a younger age, I was worried about getting girls, bro. And it's so crazy because I really don't worry about that anymore. Don't get me wrong, I love women. Like I think women are beautiful. Um, I see myself having a woman, in the future. I don't know, near, far. It doesn't matter. I'm a person right now in my life that I'm just kind of going with the flow with things, right? Um, but back then, I was really focused on. I wasn't focused on them, but it was a concern of mine because everybody around me, you know what I mean? When you see your friend, you know, having a girlfriend at a young age in middle school, and I'm telling you, like that's the culture, like middle school, right? Like kids, and my friends was had girlfriends, and like they had girls telling them that they cute and stuff like that. But you're not getting that same thing in return. You understand? You start to really question it and believe what other people are saying. So now my reality started to validate what people are saying. Oh yeah, he's ugly. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm not ugly. But then I'm seeing like, oh, this girl's not saying I'm cute. Or I talk to a girl, she don't even like me like that. It was just a lot, bro. But obviously, as you get older, those things start to dwindle. But yeah, man, that's really a big thing that I had to deal with when I was younger, bro. Um, and I really think that's a big thing, a reason why I'm the person I am today, and why I take care of myself so much and pour into myself so much because of what I had to deal with when I was younger. And I understand the value of not worried about external beliefs on what other people say about me, but having a reflection of how I feel about myself, right? I want to feel out like I think what really shifted from back then until now, as I got older and I started to progress in life and started to understand life more, is that that self-love and belief in myself and not feeling ugly, um, that came from within, you know, not taking care of myself and, you know, just allowing people to dictate how I view myself, you know. So if anything y'all get from this video is do not let people or any external forces dictate how you view yourself, how you see yourself, and where you see yourself going, bro. Do not let people dictate that. The only person that can really dictate that is you. Um, and despite how I used to feel about when I was younger, feeling ugly and things of that nature, um, I prevailed, bro. I have. Um, I went against those things, and I think that's a big contribution on why I go so hard on this fitness thing, because I used to feel that way for a long time, all the way until college, bro. You know, but I go deep into the college thing even more because that's a different thing. You know, like, you know, because yeah, I was trying to talk to girls, but still not really a good result. But I think that was more so because of my mental and my habits. And I'll leave that for another video for sure. Um, I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. I feel like I should leave it at that, because I could really go on and on, man, about how I used to feel about myself. But I'm happy that what I used to feel about myself is not how I feel about myself anymore. I definitely feel very confident in myself. I feel like I can accomplish anything I can achieve. You know, the fact that I'm on here just even talking to y'all is an accomplishment in itself. You know, I really feel like I'm breaking barriers in my confidence and how I value myself. To sit here and really tell y'all and pour um, how I used to feel about myself into the camera and really tell the world um, is just different, bro. And it just shows the growth and I guess the how comfortable I am with myself, you know, and being happy where I am right now, you know. Because if I wasn't happy where I'm at right now mentally, I probably wouldn't be able to sit on here in the camera and really talk, you know. And that's a mental breakthrough for me. Um, and I'll say this is probably the most confident I've ever felt in my life. Real talk. So, with that being said, man, I'm gonna leave it here, bro, because we got more to talk to y'all later. You know what I mean? I don't want to just be a too long video for y'all. I don't want to put y'all to sleep, but I really hope y'all enjoy this video. And we're gonna talk more, man, because I really want y'all to really get to know who I am and how I get to became Fit No Drama. This is only the beginning. We haven't really even got to the breakdown of how I came Fit No Drama, how I even created the name and all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's me from the beginning. That's me as a jit on really how I felt to myself mentally. I talked a little bit about the experience, but I really wanted to talk about my mental a lot because I feel like my strength as a coach is pushing people's mental and belief in themselves because I had to work so hard to believe in myself. So as a coach, I think that's one thing I value um, is pushing your mental because everything starts with the mental, right? If it doesn't, if it everything physical starts mentally, for you to push past a workout, a routine, or like anything for that matter, or like just going through any type of journey, it starts with the mental. So yeah, man. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, share this with your friends. See subscribe, hit that bell